Welcome back to WT Bricks for another episode of Building Mandalore in Lego. And this week I want to carry on working on the tunnels of Mandalore. Now I haven't ordered in the macaroni pieces. They are in stock on lego.com on the pick a brick, so I can order them any day now. But what I want to do is get as much of this done all the same. Now with the macaroni pieces, they will be just clipping into place, so I should be able to build all of the support structure and all the other details on here and then just put that part in last of all. The idea is to get all of this built up so it's all level with the top section just there. Then that will enable me to continue working up here without having to wait for the tunnels to be finished. I've been looking at this tunnel section here and I've decided I'm going to make a slight amendment to it. At the moment, I was going to have a set of macaroni pieces in here which clip to that wall just there, and the same on the opposite side, and it was going to go up to the end there. However, there is no necessity for having this part on there. I could just feed the macaronis through from here and then clip them in at the very end. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove this section just here, move this arch as well, push it all the way to the very end, and then just have one continuous row of the macaroni pieces. The reason I was going to be having these in here initially was to help with the structural side of it, so they didn't move about too much. However, I've realised that the bricks on the floor here, they're going to stop it moving one way, and also bricks on the wall are going to stop it moving that way as well. So there's no necessity whatsoever for having that section in the middle there. So let's make those changes to the tunnel. And that's the end of the tunnel all sorted out. Once I've got the macaroni pieces in, I'll be able to feed it through and then just clip it into place like so. Now what I need to do now is take away this black brick wall, put a plate coming out by one stud, and then I can do the bricks that will go in between this row of macaronis here and the row that will be going on the top. So let's get that part done. Once I've done that, I can then plate over the top of this section and build all the supports on the top. And that's the roof section all on the tunnel, and as you can see it's nice and dark in there, which is what I was really hoping for. That way once I've got the lights in there it should glow really well. All I need to do now is just reinforce the plates on the top here, and then that will enable me to build the supports going up so I can get the rest of this support structure all finished off. And that's as far as I can go with the support structure for the time being, and it's nice and sturdy, which is good. This section here has worked out really well. I put a lot of Technic beams across here on the roof section, just so if I put any weight on here, I don't have a cave in on there and it all collapses on me. So that's all good to go. The one thing I have done is run out of 2x8 of the filler plate, which is unfortunate. So I do need to put a load more on the top there. One thing I am considering doing is having this a brick or two lower than the section at the back. I just think it'd be nice to have two different levels on there. Although it's not by a lot, it does mean I can put some steps in there, build it all up, and I think it'll look quite good having it on those two different levels. So I'm just going to have a think about that before I go any further with that side of it. But now I've got all of this section done, what I can do is build the grey wall all the way up along here, so it's all covering it, along the front here and along the back side. So let's get the grey bricks out and let's get that all sorted. And that's the grey brickwork all the way up to the filler brick and filler plate at the moment. One thing I did realise I hadn't done was put the lights in the corridor or the room on the end here. So I had to peel off a couple of the plates on the very top there and feed the wires through. But they're all connected and they work fine, which again I'll show in the finale. But yeah, coming on nicely. All we need to do is all those macaroni pieces in, and then we'll be able to get this section down here all finished off. There will be some bricks, plates and tiles go on this floor section here as well, but again that's something I'll do once those macaroni pieces all come in. But now we've done that, I can concentrate on a different part of the mock. Last week I was working on one of the corridors of Mandalore and I started to try and create this patterned wall. This was one of the prototypes which I was relatively happy with. Wasn't happy with how the line here is so far over. It feels like it goes along then juts in to go carry on up. This one I was much happier with. However, I didn't like the fact there was no line at the top there and there was a break in the line just there. I thought this was the better option to go for, and I was about to order all of the pieces in from lego.com, which would have taken 45 working days for some of the parts to come in. I thought I'd have one more attempt, and I've come up with this one just here, and I think it looks a lot more polished, a lot more accurate. The grey section in the centre there is more accurate. This line could have done with being at a more degreed angle. It should be 45 degrees as opposed to, I think it's 33, those bricks are. But the good thing with this is I was able to get this entire section built up. Now there are a lot of parts that go into making this, as you can see on the back there. It took quite a while to get it all clipped together, as this is all plates in the centre here, and they're facing in opposite directions to each other. So it did take a bit of working out. And the good thing as well was I was able to get 3 of these made with the parts that I had in my inventory. So that's all good. It means I can now integrate these into that corridor straight away and carry on building that up rather than have to wait the 45 days for the parts to come in. So that's all good. Just checking in one final time for this update, and here is the corridor wall, or the start of it. Now I'm not sure if this is going to be the final version, but at the moment it is all one unit and it'll just tilt over like so. A lot happier with the lines on this than I was last week. I think it's looking a lot better. However, it's still not quite screen accurate, and the problem is with this, these lines here, it should join from there to there, and I have been trying like crazy to come up with a design. Come up with a couple of alternatives. There's this one just here. However, you have got these uglier gaps in the corners there. This one here is not quite complete, but it's using a mixture of tiles and bricks as well, so you can fit the 2x plates in there, but then there's a slight gap on the top bit there. I can fit a tile in there, however it's not quite the right size. And then the final one is this one just here. Now this one's probably the more screen accurate one on there, and once it's tilted like that, the gaps aren't as noticeable, but they are quite ugly at the top on that section just there. So I'm just trying to work out which one is the best one to go forward with, whether it's to go for one of these 3 that I've done here or stick with the original one at the back there. So I'd be interested to see what you guys think would look best on there. Anyway, that's all we got time for. I hope you've enjoyed the update. If you have, please remember to give us a big thumbs up. If you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing to the channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any future content on the channel. And if you know anybody else that would be interested in building Mandalore or building Gotham, please share the channel with them. Anyway, thanks for hopping on by, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.